Welcome to Dream and Do, a podcast for women who are chasing their dreams, rediscovering who they are, and are ready to make changes, big or small. I'm your host, Nicola Ray Wickham. Join me for confidence pep talks, soulful insights, and practical tips on all things creativity and wellness, along with powerful conversations with women who are dreaming and doing in action. This is the stuff you're going to wish you knew years ago, but don't worry, it's not too late. Let's get started. Hey loves, and welcome to episode 6 of the Dream and Do podcast. Today I am talking about ease and easy and getting in your own way, because getting in your own way is something we all do. And when I've referred to it in the past on this podcast, it's been all wrapped around getting in our own way because of fear. However, there are so many ways that it might manifest, and I'm going to talk about one of them today. It's about how we might be making things harder for ourselves, putting barriers there, and just adding complications that don't necessarily need to be there. It's something that has been coming up for me over the last few weeks after I had a conversation with a friend, which I'll tell you about later on. But I also identify it as a running theme with the women that I work with, the women that I talk to, the women that I come across, where we're just getting in our own way by making things harder and not allowing ourselves to follow what could potentially be ease. So if I'm to say the word easy to you, what kind of reaction do you have? What feelings do you have towards the word and the concept of ease and easy? Maybe it's sayings come to mind like the easy way out, or it's not meant to be easy, otherwise everyone would be doing it. And it has all of those negative connotations. Easy can often, in our minds and in society, denote laziness. When, in actual fact, the dictionary definition of easy is achieved without great effort, presenting few difficulties, and of a period of time or way of life free from worries or problems. So in of itself, that sounds pretty good, right? Other words that it goes on to talk about are things like uncomplicated, not difficult, effortless, painless, trouble-free, simple, straightforward. And then also calm, tranquil, serene, quiet, peaceful, undisturbed, content. So what is there not to love about the concept of easy and ease? Well, it sounds pretty damn good to me, but why do we fight it? As modern, intelligent, driven women, we're making things in some cases, in some places and some spaces harder than they need to be. Maybe even to the point that we are a little bit suspicious of ease. I know that I am, and that's what my conversation with my friend highlighted to me. It was almost like that ease felt a bit uncomfortable. It was unfamiliar territory, which was completely unsettling. It was like the easy monster was lurking around the corner, ready to pounce. Because not only are things not allowed to be easy, because that would make me lazy or undeserving, right? But also the guilt that comes with things feeling or being easy. Guilt for something being simple. That's almost the loop that we can find ourselves in, which is why we will then make things complicated and make things difficult and kind of create a barrier and a challenge when there doesn't need to be one. So with this episode and what I'm going to talk about, that is almost the loop that I want to encourage you to break and at least to recognize and become aware of it. So the negative associations that you might have with the word ease and easy and those concepts is all going to be coming from a belief that you hold, one that you were maybe told as a child or has developed over the years. And of course, you have the evidence to support it because that's how beliefs work. We will find the evidence to back up what we think, and we will see that evidence played out time and time again all around us. But ultimately, a belief is a story. It's a story we've adopted or been assigned, and we've learned and taken it on as a truth because it's a story that has been replayed and repeated. When you get your head around the fact that beliefs are stories, it becomes so much easier to be able to identify which are the self-limiting beliefs. So which are the beliefs that you hold that are actually holding you back, and be able to kind of change that narrative. But in order to do that, you have to recognize that beliefs are stories. So as I said, for me, over the last few weeks, specific beliefs around the concept of ease have been coming up for me. When you're doing this kind of work and you become aware of it, you start to see your beliefs being played out in front of you. Absolutely, some of them go undetected, but the self-limiting ones start to present themselves to you, whether it's because you start to see them or maybe you're journaling it out, meditating, talking to somebody. Like I was talking to a friend and she completely just reflected it back to me, which I'm so grateful for. But you start to be able to identify them. And you know what? It's a journey. It's like that old kind of analogy with the onion that you peel back and there's other stuff. It's not about you being broken and needing to be fixed. Like that is one of my mantras. You are not broken and so do not need to be fixed. It's not about that, but it's about finding tools and finding ways to just open you up to the possibilities to help you fulfill your full potentials and see you going from that dreaming to doing. That's all that it is. So please don't get it twisted and think that in some way you've got all these messed up beliefs that are some kind of commentary on who you are as a person. It's not about that at all. You are fine as you are. Do you think that I've made that clear enough? So a few Saturday nights ago, I went for dinner with a lovely friend and we were just talking about what we were up to. And I told her about this new idea that I'd had to do something related to a Life More Inspired, but kind of just a different service and offering. And as I talked it through with her, I was like, it would be so easy. The thought of it lights me up. I know I can do it. I do it already. I just don't offer it strictly as a service. And as we talked more, she was just like, well, why don't you then? And I was like, there's something holding me back. It was like the ease of it was making me feel uncomfortable. I was like, there must be a barrier. There must be something that I can put in place to make this difficult. Because at the moment, how easy it could potentially be is making me feel hella uncomfortable. I'm a person who thrives on challenges, seeing those barriers and wondering how I can overcome them, how I can turn a no into a yes. Isn't that what business is about? I said to her, am I actually allowed to follow the ease? And she was like, Nicola, yes, you are. And since then, it's made me hyper aware of where not only with that specific project where I was making it difficult, but actually in life in general, where I might be, and I see other people doing it as well, kind of stuffing it full of all of this stuff, which is only serving to overcomplicate things because we're not allowing it to be easy. And I get it. You won't have got to where you are now without hard work and grit. But the opposite to ease is actually difficulty, uneasiness, effort, worry, work, unrest, and discontent. And are those any of the things that you want in your life? What I want to talk about is like that happy medium, because we can all achieve it and it's okay if we let ourselves follow the ease. As much as I love a challenge and hard work and hustle and all of that, I'm not signing up for, and I really hope that you aren't either, signing up for the difficulty, the uneasiness, and the worry and unrest and discontent. Obviously, life is about feeling all of the different parts of it and all of the different experiences. So those things will surely come and have surely come. But are you welcoming more of that of your own making? That is the question that I'm asking you. Whilst I'm not saying to take your foot off the gas, to just stay horizontal and expect all of your dreams to flow to you like water coming out the tap, hard work pays, it does, but there is a level where following the ease is not only super helpful, but super revealing. And that can go for your business, your career, your home life. It is one of those things that just has a ripple effect. Maybe you've been conditioned that things can't be easy, or you don't deserve it if it's easy, or you're not worthy of it if it's not difficult. And yes, I get that there are circumstances where the negative meaning of easy, such as taking the easy way out, is completely valid. For instance, lying, cheating, copying, not dealing with your staff, passing the buck, shirking responsibility. Absolutely, that is taking the easy way out. But I don't believe we should let those kind of beliefs around this concept hold us back from actually the really valuable gems that it has to offer. Because as modern women, we are piling so much stuff on ourselves already. And this conditioning is making us make things even more difficult. I really believe that if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. You know where ease and easy aren't bad things, where you and I and many other women are making things harder than they need to be because we're actually resisting the ease. And so I want to bring your awareness to kind of it's like an easeful challenge. Yes, it's work, but bringing some ease to it. Yes, it means I'm not saying you get to cop out of things when they feel uncomfortable, or when you need to stretch and do that thing that where the fear is gripping you on it. I'm not saying that you get to go, oh no, I'm following the ease and I'm not going to do it. That's not what it's about. It's still about growing and stretching and doing the uncomfortable things and challenging yourself. But within that, there are going to be ways to follow the ease. So it might be like with the example I gave of myself, where an idea comes to you and you just know that you could do it, you love it, the thought of it lights you up, it feels easy, and you're wondering what the catch is. And so therefore you overcomplicate it and make it hard. But what would it be like if you let it be easy? Or you're ready to get going on that project, and then suddenly you start to fill it with all sorts of extras that fundamentally it doesn't need, but you're doing it because otherwise it felt too easy. So I get that you might be thinking, okay, thanks, Nicola. I get the kind of what you're trying to say in terms of ease and easiness, but if that is my default, how do I turn it around? Well, it's actually quite simple to do that. And it's about bringing some awareness to the situation. So first of all, I would encourage you to just get quiet and just get still. So whether it's through meditation for you, or you just want to lie down and have 5 minutes, or if you're listening to this on your commute on the tube, you just allow yourself to turn my voice off and just sit for 5 minutes, not doing anything else. And just allow yourself to think of where the ease could be. Simple. So that's just the way to start. And then, and what I have found to be really helpful over the last few weeks is to just ask that question: what would ease look like today? How can I follow the ease with X project? What would and could feel easy about this. And I think it's really important. It's one of those ones where you have to ask yourself the question. And I always say the answers are within you. And you'll hear the answers, but you'll only hear them if you've asked yourself the question. And the reason why you've not heard them before is because you've not asked yourself the question. Rolling back to what I was talking about with those beliefs, because maybe you thought it was lazy or it was kind of the easy way out, or you weren't deserving of it. So you didn't bother to ask about the ease. But as soon as you ask about the ease, and that's what I meant about getting quiet, because you kind of tune into yourself, you'll know what it is. And then you just need to do it, just to follow that. Since I had this conversation with my friend and had this realization, it's something that I've asked myself every day, from the small to the big. It's those kind of, how could I make this easier? If I was to follow the ease of what it would look like. And you know what, contrary to what you might be thinking, it doesn't mean that you suddenly just make no effort or that you shirk responsibilities or anything like that. But what it does do is help you to make things a lot more simpler. And it does shed loads for your wellness and well-being and peace of mind. It's almost like a filter system that you can put things through to say, actually, that would feel easier. And I know you, okay, that sounds weird, right? Because we may never have met. But I know that you're not going to cut corners. So you don't need to worry about that. You're not going to go, oh, I'm not going to deliver on what I promised on this because it would be easier. Your nature will not allow you to cut corners, and your integrity will not allow you to do that. So you don't need to worry about that. But what asking that question will do is allow you to say, actually, I am over delivering by 300%. And I'm doing that because I need to feel worthy and deserving. So I'm stuffing it full of extras that it doesn't need. Or I'm stopping myself from actually going through with that project because it feels too easy, and that's just not right. That's what it will allow you to do. So come back to those oxymorons that it might feel like an oxymoron that I mentioned earlier. The easeful challenge. Kind of the easeful uncomfortableness, the easeful work. I know all of those sound really bizarre, but it's the only way I can find to kind of communicate that balance of both. So I ask you, as we start the new working week, where can you strip back this week? Where can you follow the ease? It's almost that magic sweet spot of the ease, but what lights you up, but is still that challenge, and it's still sitting in that place of being uncomfortable because you're stretching, but ultimately you're going for your dreams. I don't want you to not be going for your dreams because it feels too easy, because that's almost what I did until I had a conversation with my lovely friend who's also a coach, which was exactly what I needed. But that just whole concept of ease, I know that it will land for you in the way that you need to hear it today. So my love, tell me, where can you follow the ease this week? Feel free to jump onto Instagram and tell me there, or you can go into the Collective Facebook group and we can talk it out in there as well. Thanks as always for listening. I have a new offering launching in the next few weeks, which I'm really excited to talk to you about. So watch this space. Thank you for listening. It is so appreciated. If you like what you heard, help your girl out by subscribing on iTunes and leaving a review. And I'll be picking out a reviewer each month to receive a very special affirmation card and print pack. So get over there to get yours. Sending you love and light as always, and I will see you really soon.